It was, gosh, about 3 years ago now that I met Chad Parker. Chad and I have become friends, even though he just worked for me 1 year in River City. But I can tell you, when Chad came in to River City a few years ago, I knew from the first time that I met him that it was going to be different. And I can tell you, River City had a history of being, you could call mediocre at best. I think those of us who are Cub fans, Mr. Sender, you can relate to that. But we from the get-go had a feeling that Chad was going to bring a winning attitude, a winning way of doing things, not only on the field but off the field. And that was very important to me at the time. And we did have to change something that had a history of being kind of an average, below average team, and turn it into really what it is today, which is one of the top franchises in all of minor league baseball from an on-field baseball perspective. Had one of the top winning percentages the last 3 years in all of minor league baseball, and it's just been a real success story. Now, Chad pretty much laid the foundation for that organization, and in the last couple years, Chad turned around another floundering organization with the Joliet Club, and really laid a great foundation very quickly for that organization, and they've had a lot of success ever since. So I really have a real fond place in my heart for Chad. He's a good friend of mine. I know what he stands for. Like I said, he's going to have a team that's going to come out here every day, and I know he's going to take it to the other team. He's not going to wait for things to happen. So I'm not going to take much time today to introduce Chad, because I'm going to let him do most of the talking. You're going to notice something a little bit different about Chad. You're going to notice a little southern drawl, which you might have to get used to. And when you leave here today, you might be saying y'all a lot more than when you did coming in. But I know you're going to get a chance to talk to Chad, and I know over time that you're all going to enjoy working with him. And this is going to be the start of a long and successful run here in Bloomington-Normal. So we're just very pleased and excited today to announce Chad Parker as our new manager. Chad?
The first thing you're going to notice about me is I have a bit of a southern accent. I want you to know that I talk with a southern accent, but I don't think of it. So I do appreciate Steve Malliott and the ownership group giving me this opportunity. Extremely grateful and humbled by it. I just think it has the makings of being something really special here. And I know from working with Steve before, the type of people that I want to work for are people like Steve Malliott and his wife and his family and his ownership group, and the stability that they have here is what I'm looking for my family. And so I'm just looking, like he said, for a long, successful tenure here, and I want to make this my home. I'm really excited about the area, about the city. When I got here, I was really pleased with the life that exudes from this town. I think there's a lot going on, and just looking to be a good asset to that. So as far as the team goes, I'm really excited to be back in the Frontier League. I really enjoy the younger players and trying to develop them. It goes right along with what I think independent baseball is about, and is for giving people chances and giving people opportunities to reach their goals. And it gives people purpose, and that's what I'm about in my personal life, is about purpose. And that's what I do in my professional life, and that's what I teach to the players, is every day you're here for a purpose. And with that purpose, how you handle yourself goes a long way with what kind of results that you get. So I'm looking really forward to being part of this Well, it's going to be a different style. I'm a aggressive style manager offensively, and I build my teams on pitching and defense first. And so I need guys that are really athletic and really can play defense, guys that can really pitch, and then guys that can run. And if guys that can run can play defense, and we can keep teams from scoring, then we don't have to score so much. And so the dynamics of the team will be different because of the athleticism I'm looking for in all the players in all the positions. I think it's a little bit of a slower roster right now than I'm used to. So there is going to be some shakeup. I don't look to overhaul the whole roster. There are some good young players that I think I can use, and had some good numbers with some of the guys that you guys had. So the idea is take the good players that has good numbers, and if I can get a couple other good players for them in return, that'll make us stronger. I really like to build my teams mostly from guys right out of spring training. Guys who get released in the off season or guys who get released in spring training tend to have a little more hunger about getting back to an affiliated team and putting their best out every day. And they tend to be in that mindset as the same as they did in affiliated baseball. So I like getting guys as much as I can straight from the organizations.
What about getting the CornBelters in the playoffs? You have experience in the postseason, so do you have a strategy for long term?
Well, I have a process by which I go about my business, and I'm a man of my faith is the most important thing to me. So for that reason, I'm going to do my job every single day to the best of my ability to be an example for everybody I'm around. I'm going to treat everybody around with respect. I'm going to make sure that all our players treat people with respect. I'm going to teach these players and make sure these players respect the game, that they come out every day and they're ready to work, and they're ready to, like I said, go about their purpose about the right way. That has been successful for me getting to the playoffs before. Every team I've played on or been a manager on or coached on, then I've been in the playoffs. So that has bred success. You can't ever guarantee it, obviously, because there's so many variables that you just can't control. But the process is going to be the same. And our goal from day one is going to be to win the Frontier League Championship, because each individual in that dugout's goal is going to be how good can I be today. And we're not going to worry about the results. I never look at the standings. I never talk about winning. I just talk about let's just do our job to the best of our ability today. So it has worked before. I think it'll work really well here. We've got a great place here to attract really good players. So that's why I'm extremely excited. I just think we've got as good a place as there is in minor league baseball, as good an ownership as there is in minor league baseball. So I've got a lot of things to sell to get some good players. So I'm really excited about that, and I think that will breed a lot of success.
Now, some people say that the third season of a minor league team is kind of the most important. This team's still in its fledgling stages. What do you think you bring to not just the team, but the organization as a whole?
Well, just a sense of direction. Nothing against anybody that was here before, and I never say anything about what happened before, but I just know from today on that this whole organization is going to be out on the field, is going to be about how good can we get each and every day. And that's from making our trades, that's from retooling the roster, and what we do in spring training to what we do every single day. And the most important thing is perseverance, and especially in independent baseball. You get in those dog days of summer, and these guys are 21, 22, 23-year-old guys, and they get tired. And you just have to be reminded, hey, today's a day that you can make a difference in your life. No matter if that's July 23rd or if that's May the 20th, if it's opening day or whatever, they need to have the same attitude every single day. And then you just have to be reminded of that. I've learned to live my life one day at a time. And so that's what I look to give this organization, is that attitude, is one day at a time. We're going to do everything that we possibly can, because we're here for a reason.
What benefit will your previous Frontier League experience be to you?
I think it'd be, very much. My first year in the Frontier League, I kind of I was in the South Coast League before, and we had some good players in that league, and we had heard that the Frontier League was a good league, but I really didn't know until I got in it. And now that I've been in the Frontier League a whole year, I've been in the Northern League, which was an older league, and I could kind of look back and see what was going on in the Frontier League. And then a year off, I think I got a great perspective of what the Frontier League is, and I think it really helped me with the changes in the roster rules of the Frontier League from when I was before. I think it really helped me being in the Northern League with some of those older guys, and I just think it gives me a unique perspective on it. So I'm, like I said, really excited about it.
So was Schaumburg last year kind of a year off that you really weren't looking for or didn't want?
Right, you're never looking for it. You know, I've been in some unique situations. River City was a great time in my life, and I loved being there. In fact, do all over again, I probably would have never left River City. But Joliet offered me, you know, a deal that I couldn't refuse from my family because it allowed me to move back home with a family situation. And so I felt like I needed to do that at that point. But by doing that, I went to a very unstable organization, and I knew it, but it was good for my family at the time. And then you just get mixed in with people that's unstable, and you never know what's going to happen. We can't control everything. And so now, you know, just at a place to where I'm looking for stability with myself and my family, and a job, I'm looking for a place to call home. And I think this can be the very best organization in minor league baseball. And I think I can be here for a long time and have a lot of success here. And just, you know, super excited about the stability. Not only does this team, but also the Frontier League. I think the Frontier League is the most stable league that there is in independent baseball.
How do you get more people into the seats?
Well, that's Steve's job. No, I know they'll do a great job from a you know, sales perspective on that, but we need to win. We need to win, and most importantly, we need guys that people enjoy watching. And our players, you know, it's always about, you got to respect the fans as well. You got to do the right things. You got to be in the community. You got to be able to do things for the organization outside of just going out there and playing a game. And that's the way I look at my job is as a total servant to the organization. And our players are going to do the same thing. So they're going to be willing to sit in the concourse and sign autographs. They're going to be willing to stay after the game and sign autographs. They're going to be willing to do whatever this organization needs them to do to help get fans in the seats, because without the fans, they wouldn't have a job. And I think sometimes players lose that perspective, and it's my job to help them see that. Without this team, without this stadium, without these fans, you're not playing baseball right now. So players tend to look at it the other way around sometimes, and they have to be reminded who's writing the checks.
Any last questions? Chad will be available to everybody afterwards here if you want to talk to him on the side. Do want to recognize Steve Passler, the Assistant Commissioner of the Frontier League, and Steve will be here first. Steve, you want to make a few comments
Sure.
too? Steve Passler, from the league office, Frontier League office.
Thank you. You know, on behalf of the entire Frontier League, you know, our other 13 teams, the league office, we're really excited to have Chad back in the league. He did a tremendous job with the River City Club, as Steve Malley mentioned. That was a team, at least on the baseball side, that had really, you know, to say they were mediocre, I think was a bit of a compliment. They had, you know, really struggled for about 6 or 7 years before Chad got there, and he promptly took them to a division title and took them to the brink of winning a championship in his first season. You know, great players he had on the field. You know, several of them are still in the league, and they're just good guys, good people you really want to root for. You're really excited about to have on your team. You know, so that's really a testament to Chad, an example of the type of program he puts together. You know, not just in River City, but when he took over at Macon in the South Coast League, a brand new club, they come in, they lead the league in wins this season there. Then he goes to Joliet, and Joliet was the same thing. It had been a team that had struggled and been, you know, below 500 for several years. He takes them to the playoffs in his first season there as well. Back-to-back managers of the year. You know, if he had been able to manage last year, he probably would have another And based on Chad's track record and, just what he's seen the other places he's been, I think he's gonna, you made a very good hire. You've got a good person that has the ability to take the CornBelters to the top of the Frontier League next season. It's a big jump, but he's done it twice before, two similar situations, and we are confident he'll be able to do it again and put on a project that fans in the Bloomington-Normal area are very proud to support.
Thank you, Steve. All right, guys, obviously All-Star summer coming up here too, so the third year is a very important year for us. You're gonna see a lot of things this year that you haven't seen before, not only on the field, but also just in how we do things this year. Our promotion schedule, can't wait to tease you a little bit here, but a couple of weeks we're gonna have our promotional schedule that'll come out. It'll include all the All-Star events and agenda for the All-Star game, but it'll also include some very unique promotions and things that we're gonna try this year that we think will be extremely successful. So not only will we be striving to move forward on the field, but we're gonna be striving to move forward as an organization, just in general with our, our ticket sales, our promotions, how we do things at the ballpark. We'll be adding some new things at the ballpark this year. We're adding some things concession-wise. So you're gonna see some exciting new promotions as well on the field, in-game promotions, just everything. We're gonna take up a notch this year. Getting in 2 years ago was a little bit of a challenge. We barely got in before the season started. Last year, we learned a lot. We really do think year 3 is gonna be our best year yet, and it's gonna be a foundation for us to move forward. So, we're very thankful for everybody's support here, and if there's anything we can do to answer any questions afterwards, we'll all be available. Alan Sender, too, from our ownership group is here, and of course Greg, everybody knows, is our voice of the team. He's here too. So, and then I just want to recognize my fine staff. Got a great group of young staff that really do a great job, and I think a third year here for them, they'll all agree that this is going to be a wonderful third season. So, with that, I'll leave it open to questions, individual questions here, and please, guys, Randy, hit the beer nuts and the root beer here. Thank you very much, everybody.